This concept here is based again on a 260-foot Gulf of Mexico rig supply boat. This vessel's been designed around a conversion to be full expedition yacht for guest accommodations, extra crew accommodations, helo operations and large tender storage. The vessel's structure at the front here has been changed a bit for aesthetics and also for better working operations. The foredeck's enclosed. The idea is to put some ice strengthening on the hull, and you can see it has an ice knife just under the forefoot here, and then it'd have an ice belt put around the hull here for doing cruises to the Arctic and Antarctic. You've got the davits here on the top deck to quickly launch and retrieve these soft bottom ribs, which are the standard tenders to use in Arctic and Antarctic conditions. The rest of the boat has generally been converted by filling in the large storage deck here. This lower deck here, the entire deck, is all crew accommodation. So a lot of crew cabins, crew lounges here. You have 6 guest cabins on this level with a lounge and dining, and then you have 2 VIP cabins on the top deck here on either side with their own personal lounge. You also, in the centre here between these tenders, you have a library, and then up forward here you have the sunroom, the guest sunroom, beaut place for the guests to sit and relax in Arctic or Antarctic conditions and watch the scenery as it goes by. The bridge, I've added enclosed bridge wings, which are very, very handy when you're working in those sorts of conditions, especially if you're navigating in the ice. If the captain can see down the sides of the vessel when he's going through pack ice, it really makes navigation a little bit easier and a little bit stress-free. The stacks I've designed or redesigned to face outwards here, just to get some of the emissions out of the way of the rest of the vessel here. A totally reconfigured main mast with a crow's nest up the top here. You've got a large platform here which could also be designed to carry another helicopter. When you're working in the Arctic or the Antarctic, if you intend on doing aerial operations with helicopters, 2 helicopters are optimum way to do it for safety features in case you have a problem with one helicopter. Down the back here you have space for a hangar for this helicopter and also large tenders to be used in other areas of the world wherever the boat's travelling. Looking at the aft end of the same vessel, you've got a nice size swim platform here with storage underneath this raised platform here, which has the swimming pool and a deck for the guests to use. You'll notice this access for the tenders here on the side. A lot of the time in Antarctic operations, the little ribs will come up to the side and you need an easy and safe way to get in and out of the tender and back onto the mothership. And I've noticed on a lot of boats that work in those conditions, they'll use a drop-down side gangway, it's dangerous when there's a lot of swell and wind around and the small tender can get stuck up underneath there, or people can fall off the staircase. This is a much safer way to do it. Of course, usually the best way is to come up along the back here. These big tenders here are not fully enclosed in a garage per se, but you have undercover storage here. You'll have the overhead boom cranes for launching these. The helicopter's huge. Helicopter platform is huge. I don't have a hangar on this concept design, but you could have a hangar in between these tenders up here in this part of the deck. And of course, if necessary, you could land another helicopter or carry a second helicopter up on this deck here. You've got the 2 VIP cabins here with a nice little wing, glassed-in wing station on either side, which creates a fantastic view. And you've got a rescue tender enclosed up here in this small doghouse underneath the bridge deck. Just a profile view. You can see there's a lot of real estate on this particular concept design. A lot of enclosed areas too for operating in adverse conditions. And you can see the foredeck's been enclosed here for anchoring and docking situations, so the crew are out of the elements. Here's a rendering of one of the VIP cabins upstairs. Beaut views out of these full-length windows here. So these particular vessels would have your standard 6 guest cabins and then another 2 extra cabins for supernumeraries or extra staff on board. And then downstairs in the cruise accommodation, there's plenty of cabins here, and even up on this forepart of the first deck house here. So lots of real estate, hardy vessel, 260 feet overall and about 56 feet in the beam, and about a 12-foot draft once loaded. Plenty of fuel capacity and fluid capacity. In fact, down underneath these vessels they have tankage to carry drilling mud, water and all sorts of things out to the rigs. Some of those tanks can be opened up and used as reconfigured for gymnasiums or conference rooms and things like that. So a lot of stuff can be put into these particular vessels, and all depends on what the owner's requirements are.